and welcome to a quick look at the latest community crunch because I could not wait till next week to talk about it. Oh my goodness, the anticipation when you see the words mysterious mysteries. So we have a potential new creature teaser, which we haven't had in the longest time, and I always get really excited when I see the words mysterious mysteries, so this is a really nice surprise. But before I jump in, I would just like to say that I've not watched anybody else's coverage on this. I wanted to get my own opinion out on it first. But it's pretty simple to look at. I would say a lot of us are going to have the same opinion on it. I hope I don't sound like I'm copying people, because it might sound like I'm copying people. With this being a new channel and stuff, I wanted to get my own opinions out there before I go and look at anything. And I'm dying just to get it finished so I can go and look at everybody else's opinions. I just want to know what everyone's saying about it. So that's enough. Let's just jump in. So the first thing I'm noticing is it's got kind of a techie looking dossier. Normally they look like they're made of a sketch or come from some kind of book. So I don't know if that's maybe giving something away to the gameplay that it's going to be leaning towards in the next DLC, because I think we can definitely say that this is DLC related. But I was under the impression that the DLC coming was based on some kind of watery world, but that could have been Chinese whispers that I've picked up along the way, with that big turtle thing coming on the go. Looking at the actual creature, you could say that it looks a little bit robotic, and maybe that's why the image has a techie vibe. But when you look closer, maybe you could say it's just because of the hologram and it's fading out, and that's just how it's designed to look. Definitely appears to be an insect of some sort with, these narrow wings. Maybe they beat like a dragonfly's. Like when they go really fast and it hovers around. And I'm kind of hoping it's going to have similar kind of movement, and it'll like strafe from side to side and up and down. So I think it looks kind of nimble. I'm kind of hoping it's going to be something similar to the Tapejara, with a strafing, but a bit more controlled and a bit more sharp. I think that would be a really nice addition to the game for building. I know we've already got the Tapejara, but I still find it really hard to steer. I would love something that's very, very specific, and I can imagine something that that flies like a dragonfly would have that very sharp strafing movement. So that would be quite nice to see. Now this bit here I first thought was like a muscular arm and some kind of claw at the end, but taking a step back and looking again, it would make more sense if it was like a continuation of its body, and that's why they've eroded this bit of the image here to make it a little bit harder to guess. You could argue that that's going to be a stinger on the end, but honestly I would say that's maybe just for decoration. Though it would make sense if it, being an insect, it had some kind of a poison ability. But see, then there's this bump here, and that makes me still think it could be an arm, because this looks kind of like a shoulder to me. It's in such an unusual place for just a random bump that I'm not really sure if it's meant to be like a specific feature, like it's going to shoot acid or something, or if it's just part of the body shape that I've just mistaken, because it looks a little bit out of place and because the images looks eroded or whatever. Moving to its head, it definitely has like a creepy insecty kind of face. And I would say that these 3 pixels here fit into here, and at this point on the front would fit onto here, and that would make like a giant pointed nose, which instantly reminds you of a mosquito, definitely. So I'm thinking maybe it's some kind of blood-sucking insect, which we don't really have much of yet other than leeches. And when you think about it being a dinosaur game, it's kind of surprising that they haven't really gotten anything like mosquito-y yet. So I would say that's maybe what its purpose is going to be. Now my first thought whenever I see a dossier, and this is probably me just taking it out of context, every time I see one, I think, oh my goodness, that creature looks massive, it must be rideable and whatever. But I would say, thinking about what it is, if it's an insect, and thinking about how Ark uses and plans out their creatures, I would say that this isn't going to be rideable. And another thing is I don't see any legs, which is odd, so it wouldn't be able to land and stay put. It would always have to be flying. Maybe that is because it's water-based, maybe it is some kind of swimmer, but it doesn't look like a swimmer to me, but who knows. And I'm actually going to go out there and say that it's probably not tameable. you know, like jug bugs and leeches and what do you call them? Titan, you know, the little ant things, they're not tameable either. A lot of the insects in Ark aren't tameable. And then I would say maybe if that's the case, it's probably going to be about the size of a Dilophosaur, maybe even a bit bigger. But that's my thoughts on it anyway. That's kind of, when I look at that, this is the ideas that are coming to my mind. You know what? Looking at it, what I would actually really like to do is load it up into Photoshop and join up some of these lines and see if we can get an actual idea of what it's going to look like. Yeah, actually I'm going to do that. So I'll be right back. Oh, okay, so I've just reinstalled Photoshop because I reinstalled Windows, and this is just... What's all this? We don't need that. How do we fix that? While I'm loading this up, I just want to say it's saved as Mysterious Transmission 1. So if it's a transmission rather than a dossier, that would make sense to why... Look at the size of it. Let's do this. Well, I've managed to open it in 30 layers because it's changed all of my stuff. Delete, please. Yes. Right. Anyway, so because it's opened as a it's because it's a GIF. That's why it's opened with so many layers. So, never mind. I'm having a bit of a derp. We're kind of doing this on the fly this morning. Yeah, because it's called a transmission, maybe it's coming through Helena or something. So that's actually quite interesting. So what I'm going to do... So I'll do this bit last because those bits clearly fit together quite well. I would say, shall we copy this colour? I would say that's going to connect to there somehow. And we'll just... This is going to look a bit shabby. Because painting in Photoshop isn't really my thing. Photo editing I'm not bad at, but... This kind of thing, not so much. So maybe be something like that. Oh, that bumpy... I bet you that's... where its wing connects. Yeah, so that's what that is. Okay. So that makes more sense. So yeah, it doesn't have any legs. It just has wings. That's a bit odd, isn't it? That's not going to be some kind of legs. That's kind of like armor. Oh, that's annoying because I want to use that. Let's do that again. That looks like it connects, so what I'm gonna do is very roughly lasso it. It is very, very rough, I'm afraid. Right, take that layer. And then I can spin it like this. That looks a bit better. And since we're doing that, we might as well take these bits. Let's do that. So this isn't going to be super duper neat, but it'll just give us kind of an idea. If we transform, we can just... Yeah, so that would fit in that space there. And this is gonna... And we're gonna go grab his beak again. Again. Oop. This time lucky. Free transform. Try again. Oh, that's better. Okay, that's starting to look pretty cool. Then we've got this bit on his chest that's still missing a little bit. Let's take that colour back. I would say that maybe goes like that. something like that. And he's missing a wing. Like, if that's one big main wing, I would say there's another one that's meant to be here. So what I'm going to do is, again, I'm just going to lasso this. Free trans, here we go. Flip horizontal. There, and I think that would probably go somewhere. Let's put it somewhere so it's not on the way of that little wing. It's there. I would say this is maybe gonna, well, maybe it would be more symmetrical, so it would be kind of like that. I would say that's gonna go there somewhere. So I think that's kind of gonna be more what it looks like. So we've got the two big wings here. Maybe these are little wings. So like, again, I'm going back to a dragonfly. They've got like 4 wings. And that's what that's going to be. We could join up all these little pixels on the wings, but we don't need to. We just want to be able to see a general shape of what we think it's going to look like. So if we go back to the original, so that's what we think maybe after filling it out. I would say so. So it's got this long kind of shape. Actually, it looks quite bulky. It maybe isn't going to be very nimble because it seems like it is quite chunky. And then it's got this great big heavy head to be carrying around with it. So maybe, I don't know. But the wings would suggest that maybe it is quite nimble. I still stand by what I said. I don't think this is going to be very big. I don't think it's going to be tameable or rideable. But I think it's going to be something to watch out for. I think it's going to be dangerous. I reckon it's going to have the ability to suck your blood or suck a dinosaur's blood and reduce their health. Don't think, I did say before about poison and acid. I don't think it will. I think this will be its main feature. Considering, you know, you can't really ignore it, can you? I mean, it's like right there. I do think it's quite weird that it hasn't got legs. I find that quite strange. Unless we're missing something. But I would say no, I don't think it's got legs. I still don't think it looks like a swimmer. No, it hasn't got fins or anything, so I would definitely say, yeah, flying. Some kind of flying mosquito. Anyway, that is my take on it. That's what I'm thinking. So thank you if you've watched all the way through. I'm eager to see what the rest of the internet is saying. I'm sure you are as well before you're looking this up. If you have any thoughts, share them with me. I would love to start a conversation on this. I'm really looking forward to what else more DLC is going to bring our way. Something I'd like to mention just before I finish off, if you're interested in me talking about it, which you probably won't, and if not, see you later, have a good day. I noticed on the forum page while I was reading to see what people were thinking, a lot of people, and I'm not defending wildcard in any way because I somewhat agree with this. You always see when new DLC is coming out and new features, people always go, the game is still broken. Fix the game, fix the mistakes that are in the game, update it, optimize it. Can you not just make it a more playable experience and then add stuff? Which is very true just now, especially with all the PS4 servers, everything being taken down because of exploits and stuff that's going on. And I mean, there's some bugs that have been in the game forever and they've never been fixed. And it's extremely frustrating. And I am on that boat as someone who's struggled with a toaster of a computer trying to play this game. I've recently upgraded it slightly and it's made things a lot easier, but it still has its issues. It's sad because it is, I don't want to call it a broken game because I've still managed to sink 2,000 hours into it and it still works. So I can understand where these comments are coming from, but you've got to remember, this game, if you want the devs to keep updating it, and keep working on it, they've got to make their money to make it feasible to sit and work on it. And unless they're going to charge us a monthly subscription or start introducing microtransactions, and I don't know about you, I want neither of those things, they need to push out DLC, and that is how they're going to make their money to keep this game going. So as much as we want, we are fed up of things not working, bugs that have been in forever. Every time they release a DLC, there's problems with the DLC. It's always released too early, even when they're delayed by weeks and months and whatever from the date that we were given. There's always problems with wildcard games. Like, as much as we love them, there's always issues. But if we want this game to remain the way it is, and that we pay a one-off price for it and we get to play it as much as we jolly well like, that's just going to be the order of business. And I felt like I had to get that off my chest. And I know it's a controversial opinion, which, like I said, I don't want to defend. In a sense, it is defending them, isn't it? Let's not beat around the bush. I don't want to defend the fact that there is still broken things I really would like to see fixed. But I don't want to see microtransactions, and I don't want to see a monthly subscription, because I can't afford those things. And when microtransactions are introduced, they've got to introduce ways to make the game more inconvenient so they can sell you the solution. So that's a thing going forward, and I just kind of wanted to bring that up before I start hyping about DLC, because I am going to hype about it, and I am going to give them my money so that I can continue to play this game and it can continue to be improved for years to come. So, and after saying I can't afford a monthly subscription, but there you go. That's enough. I've rambled enough. I hope you all have a very nice day, and I will see you again next time.